pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Antonio Marshalls. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Antonio Marshalls. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. On first down, Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, that's tough. You come in here, you dial up that pass play on the first play from scrimmage and get it picked.
And you know, coaches always talk about we prepare for every eventuality. You don't even mention this as a possibility when you dial up that play, right? Instead, they throw a pick, and now they're behind the 8 ball on the road to get things going.
Got it? 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Delta. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be a third and about 13.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Mike 57. Watch the run.
Off play action. King. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. They'll set up a throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Now it's Carson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
On second down, it's Carson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And these guys locked into that number 1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So it doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I got you. I got you. Right there.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. And predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
9 yards on the play there, and it sets them up 1st and goal. goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. The quick slant caught. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We're soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
57, ready, go!
They'll look to throw here on first down. Open man is Higgins. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Rap. No. H3, 218, chopper. Go. I got motion there. Ready.
They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
I don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Check 53, better bring it.
On 2nd and 15 now. Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. That sack by Khalil Mack. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down now, it's Grant. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Check Mike 57. Mike 57. Got to exit. Check 53's Mike. Check 53's Mike. No check.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He is going to find Hill here. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Try to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. A little too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
Back to throw now on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards, the final tally. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys have taken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. Know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here we go. 57's the mic. Watch 57.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Got his man, that's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to go.
Looking to throw. It's caught. Jones. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Yes! Go get him! Right there. 54. Right there. Right there.
He'll look to throw. Well, he's going to go for it all. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs or putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our halftime report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So here's the home side to take over on offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
2nd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Now Wilson on first down. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On first down, it's Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw is Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football. It's going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He completes it to Jones. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he'll find Hall. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 39.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll run on first down. Grant. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100.
And he loses the football a second time. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. There's Wilson to throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's caught. Lockett. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Check.
Back to throw. King. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. But probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Watch 57. I know he.
Here's King off the play fake. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, He ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He finds Hopkins complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown! Tariq Cohen, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that drive goes 8 plays, and a long run there in the end to top it off. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So Wilson and the Seahawks down by 2 touchdowns. A minute 51 on the clock. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, he'll find Metcalf. And right now, defensively, and he's into the clear. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are back within a single score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Draw play. Cohen. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That one good for 14 yards.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. If you got control of this thing, get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Check safety, check safety.
Now a give, right side. It's Grant. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. They go back to Grant, and he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Let's go touchdown, baby. Let's go.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So the drive there took 6 plays. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. On 2nd down, it's Carson. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them. It'd take a lot to try and even it up. I just thought 2 words for this ball game: methodical and predictable. And both of them came together.
So for the home team here, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.